our studios in downtown Salisbury. This is WMDT 47 News at 10.
A vehicle accident left him paralyzed from the waist down. But this Parsonsburg man says he's determined to be able to once again put one foot in front of the other. Plus, an update on the status of the revised regulations regarding the use of a new phosphorus management tool in Maryland. And the search for an elderly woman missing since last Memorial Day weekend comes to an end. Her family now looking for closure. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm David Caldwell. More news in less time starts now. We begin in Worcester County, where the human remains found in a marsh over the weekend have been identified as 77-year-old Helen Davids. The Berlin resident went missing last year over Memorial Day weekend. WMDT's Kelly Rule joins us live in the newsroom with more. Kelly.
The past 9 months have been filled with relentless searching for law enforcement and Helen Davids' family. And while this isn't the outcome they wanted, they say they're relieved to finally have answers.
It's closure. I think a lot of us knew. We can start to move on now.
Months of searching, praying, and questioning where his Aunt Helen wandered off to have finally come to an end.
It's been really tough. It's one of those things where not knowing for certain is really tough.
On May 29th of last year, Helen David disappeared from her home on Carefree Lane in Berlin, where she lived with her son. Family members say she had dementia and often wandered down the street to relatives, but was not known for completely wandering off. But on Sunday, a waterman discovered human remains in a marshland off of Bay Landing Drive. The Worcester County Sheriff's Office says the body was found in a marshy area in a mosquito ditch.
Stepping into it, you could sink very deep into it and be unable to get yourself out of it. You could literally step right over top of that ditch and not even know there was somebody underneath of it.
Authorities say they are not ruling anything out at this time, but they do not believe there was any foul play. As the investigation continues, for Helen's family, it's about remembering her life.
She was always having fun, always smiling, always laughing. We miss her, and we'll always miss her. She was a good person.
The Worcester County Sheriff's Office says it's up to the chief medical examiner to determine Helen Davids' exact manner and cause of death. Reporting live in the newsroom, Kelly Rule, WMDT 47 News.
Thanks, Kelly. And now taking a look at the latest from the courtroom. According to federal prosecutors, former Virginia Governor Bob McDonnell is not entitled to more information about what he and his wife allegedly did wrong in their public corruption case. Prosecutors are asking a judge to reject the request for more details, saying that the indictment clearly outlines his crimes and has more than enough information to prepare his defense. McDonnell and his wife were charged with accepting over $165,000 in gifts and loans from the CEO of a health supplement company in exchange for promoting his products. And from political scandal to political agendas, Salisbury leaders presented their State of the City address tonight. Mayor Jim Ireton and City Council President Jake Day reflected on the 2013 year in front of a crowd of residents and other city leaders at Salisbury University, focusing on crime and neighborhoods, spending, and downtown revitalization. Officials say now Salisbury is in a sound economic position to continue to move forward.
In those 11 months, I feel like we have worked hard to restore pride to Salisbury, restore prosperity to our community, and restore partnership to city government. I believe that sets us free to do so much more.
City leaders also presented maps of plans to restructure the downtown area, including new tree and lighting patterns, increased landscaping, and outdoor dining.
Well, we had a fairly nice day out there today. Temperatures reaching the mid to lower 70s for our high temperatures, but there's some cooler weather on the way. Mainly during your late evening and early overnight hours, you'll want to stay tuned for that forecast. Plus a cool down before the end of the work week, and then by the weekend back to the 50s and 60s. That 7-day forecast coming up in just a few more minutes. David?
Alrighty, thank you, Travis. Well, many residents across Delmarva made sure they did not miss out on today's beautiful weather. How could you not? It was just gorgeous out there. Here in Salisbury, the parking lot was almost full today at the city park, with families walking and running along the path and simply soaking up the rays. While some say they were happy for such a nice day, they're sick of the temperatures constantly changing.
It's crazy, though. It's just one day it's hot, one day it's cold. It feels real good out here, though. I want to see the warm. I'm tired of the cold. I hate the cold.
But for Maryland farmers, the inconsistent temperatures have been just the beginning of their worries while they wait on an economic impact study On the state's proposed phosphorus management tool, local legislators are now taking action. Among their efforts, Congressman Andy Harris is saying if the tool does not come out right for farmers, he may try to withhold federal money from coming into the state. But with the study expected to end in July, farmers are still worried.
You're not going to come up with a comprehensive study in 3.5 months. There's no way.
There's no poultry houses going up now in Maryland. They're all being built in Virginia and Delaware, simply because of rules and regulations in Maryland.
The tool could potentially limit the amount farmers can use in fertilizer, and in many cases, farmers use chicken manure as fertilizer, and that tends to be high in phosphorus. The MDA says they expect the tool to go into effect before next year. And be sure to head to our website, WMDT.com, to learn more about this ongoing debate. A Parsonsburg man is left paralyzed after a serious accident. Less than a week ago, Trey Cantwell was transported to PRMC after a vehicle he was in hit a patch of ice and lost control. Doctors said he's paralyzed from the waist down, but friends and family believe Trey will walk again. WMDT's Cody Leibowitz reports.
A lot has changed in the past week for Trey Cantwell, an aspiring musician and a father-to-be. Now Trey says he has his toughest test yet, trying to walk again.
Can you bend your fingers yet or not yet?
Not on my own. Not on my this is about all you get right here.
On March 5th, the 27-year-old says he and a friend were driving into work when their truck spun out on Route 610, flipping across a field, then hitting a patch of ice before landing on the hood.
I just remember being face down and just thinking about my unborn kid, just hoping that I could pull through it, because at the time I couldn't move.
I had just dropped my daughter off and I was on my way to work. Billy called me and he said Trey's been in an accident. To rush him to the hospital, I just turned around, came straight here.
The 8-hour wait of the surgery was just, it was hard.
Doctors said Trey was paralyzed from the chest down with little hope to walk again. Then,
not too many people know to do the robot in 6 days.
He started gaining more feeling in his hands, even a burning back in his toes. Through the ups and the downs, his battle wasn't alone. Family and friends have stood by his side.
Everybody's supporting Trey. It's just phenomenal, the phone calls I've been getting. I found out recently iPhone batteries don't last long, especially when you're getting calls.
I'd do anything for him.
Sky's the limit for me.
Cody Leibowitz, WMDT 47 News.
Trey's family and friends are organizing fundraisers and events to help raise money for his medical costs and rehab. And you can find information about how exactly you can help out over on our website. And now to the stories making headlines across our nation this evening. A psychiatrist has been appointed to conduct a second mental evaluation of the man charged with killing 12 people in a Colorado movie theater in 2012. James Holmes pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity to charges of murder and attempted murder in that attack. He underwent a sanity evaluation last year, but last month the judge ordered a new one, saying the first was based on insufficient data and was inconclusive. Holmes' trial is scheduled for October 14th. Prosecutors are seeking the death penalty. Military officials say the missing Malaysian Airlines jetliner was still being tracked on military radar even after it dropped off civilian radar. They say the radar shows the plane changing course over the sea before crossing back over Malaysia into the country's west coast. CIA Director John Brennan said he still would not rule out terrorism as a reason for the plane's disappearance, but officials at Interpol say the information they've gathered so far about two men who were traveling with stolen passports indicates that they were not involved in terrorism. Still to come tonight, senators on both sides of the aisle actually come together in an effort to help children who are battling disease. And the benefits of well-known supplement used to treat arthritis are being called into question. The details are straight ahead in your Family Health Report.
Find these stories and more at WMDT.com. You're watching WMDT 47 News at 10 with Emily Lampa, David Caldwell, and Chief Meteorologist Travis Michaels with weather. WMDT 47 News continues right now.
And we're back looking at some very mild conditions. David?
Fantastic. Thank you, Travis. And here's a look at what's going on in the world of health tonight. By the year 2030, cancer could be the leading cause of death in the U.S. That's according to the American Society of Clinical Oncology. The number of cancer diagnoses is expected to increase by 45%, surpassing heart disease as the country's deadliest ailment. And those growing numbers would put an even bigger strain on cancer specialists as the medical field continues to struggle with physician shortages and financial difficulties. And that's why any help from the government would be all the more welcome, I suppose. The Senate has passed a bill that would allot $126 million over the coming decade for additional research into pediatric cancer, as well as other childhood disorders like autism and Down syndrome. The legislation was named after Gabriella Miller, a Virginia girl who sought to win public support for pediatric cancer research before dying of brain cancer last year. She was just 10 years old. The measure was passed by unanimous voice vote at the request of Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, and it now goes to President Barack Obama for his signature. It's a popular supplement used by thousands living with osteoarthritis, but a new study is raising some serious questions about the true effectiveness of glucosamine. Dr. Timothy Johnson explains.
Walking, gardening, or playing with your grandchildren. Activities that become progressively more difficult for the estimated 27 million Americans with arthritis. For decades, many sufferers have looked to glucosamine supplements touted for their bone and joint benefits, despite little conclusive research. Now, a new study suggesting this common supplement may be no better than a sugar pill. Researchers at the University of Pittsburgh took more than 200 people with mild to moderate arthritis of the knees, putting half on glucosamine and the other half on a placebo. 6 months later, there was no real difference in joint damage between the two groups, and those taking glucosamine experienced similar amounts of joint pain as those taking the placebo. It's another reminder that some supplements may not be what they are cracked up to be. For now, the best advice may be weight loss through diet and exercise, a tried and true approach that will put less weight on aching joints. And if that's not enough, your doctor can help you pick from the many over-the-counter and prescription medicines available. With this Medical Minute, I'm Dr. Timothy Johnson.
Coming up, the return of spring means outdoor festival season's right around the corner, and one is already getting a ton of buzz in the first state. We'll tell you about it. Plus, Delmarva is getting into the St. Patty's Day spirit. We'll tell you about one local celebration after the break. Stay with us.
WMDT 47 News, Delmarva's choice for more news in less time.
Welcome back. Here's a look at what's going on across Delmarva in County Connection. A first-time event is coming to the Delaware State Fairgrounds next month, combining three beautiful American traditions: barbecue, beer, and music. Organizers tell us that the Triple Threat Barbecue, Beer, and Music Festival is a Kansas City Barbecue Society sanctioned event. They already have over 100 participants registered.
We have a lot from Delaware, we have Rhode Island, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, so it's really become a regional East Coast event. So we're excited about that. We have a people's choice, so the folks coming to the barbecue will have an opportunity to taste some of the competitors' barbecue.
The festival will take place on April 11th and 12th. And speaking of the Delaware State Fair, tomorrow morning on Good Morning Delmarva, WMDT will bring you this year's musical acts. Now, we already know that Lady Antebellum will be taking the stage this summer, but the rest of the lineup has been a surprise so far, or kept a surprise. So make sure you tune in bright and early for the next big act to hit the fairgrounds. St. Patrick's Day is next Monday, but towns across Delmarva are already breaking out their favorite green attire this weekend. One such place is Ocean City, which will be hosting their annual St. Patrick's Day parade this Saturday. Festivities kick off at 11 a.m. with an Irish festival, followed by the big parade itself at noon. That travels along Coastal Highway from 60th to 44th Street. Aside from decorative parade floats, there will be live bands and, of course, delicious food. For more information, call 410-289-6156. And if the weather was anything like today's, then it will be a stellar day for a parade. Let's send it back over to Travis for the latest. Hey, Travis.
Well, thank you so much, David. Yes, looking at some nicer conditions for your weekend. Keep it right here. We'll be right back with your Hollywood headlines. You're watching WMDT on the CW.
Join us on Facebook at WMDT.com.
And here's a look at your Hollywood headlines tonight. In tonight's Bieber Watch, the seemingly never-ending legal drama surrounding Justin Bieber continues. A May 5th trial date has been set for his DUI case in Florida. Along with the DUI, the pop star is charged with resisting arrest and possessing an invalid driver's license after being arrested in connection to what police called an illegal drag race back in January. His original trial date was postponed while attorneys argued over the release of police videos of him giving a urine sample for a drug test. Bieber has pleaded not guilty to all of those charges. Things are getting nasty in the legal battle between Frank Ocean and popular restaurant chain Chipotle. The singer was reportedly paid over $200,000 in advance to record a remake of the Willy Wonka song, or song from the movie Willy Wonka, Pure Imagination, for one of their ads. But Ocean refused to deliver the tune due to the Chipotle logo appearing at the end of the ad because he believed it was about promoting responsible farming. The chain wants Ocean to return the money he was paid, and he responded by posting a picture of what appears to be a cashier's check with an expletive phrase written in the memo section in all caps. President Obama took an interesting approach to spreading his message on health care enrollment. Our commander-in-chief is the latest guest on the purposely low-budget, tongue-in-cheek, Funny or Die web video series Between Two Ferns with Zach Galifianakis. In addition to encouraging young people to sign up for health insurance, the two traded quick-witted responses throughout the episode, like when Galifianakis asks Obama, "What's it like to be the last black president?" Obama follows up with, "Seriously, what's it like for this to be the last time you ever talked to a president?" Well, politics aside, you gotta love that guy. Galifianakis, that is. That's it for Hollywood. Keep it here. Travis is gonna have one last look at your forecast after the break. First, tonight's winning numbers. Good luck.
WMDT 47 News, Delmarva's choice for more news in less time. Hairstyles brought to you by Designer's Edge.
Well, welcome back. We saw a very, very nice spring-like day today. Temperatures then warming up as we head towards your weekend. And then on St. Patty's Day, looking like some showers to kick off that holiday.
Showers and a leprechaun.
Yeah, a little dance there.
Perfect. Thank you, Travis. And here's what you can expect tomorrow morning with Lanita and Daniel.
Good evening. Start your day right with Good Morning Delmarva. Coming up tomorrow, we're so excited. Sherman the Shorebird joining us to kick off the 30 days of opening day. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be fun. We'll see you then.
Sherman the Shorebird, yet another sign of spring.
Exactly. That's a lot of fun there tomorrow morning.
Absolutely. All right. Well, for now, thanks so much for making us your choice for news at 10 on the CW. If you missed any phone numbers or stories, head to our website, WMDT.com.
And don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. And from all of us here at WMDT, have a good night and a pleasant tomorrow.